Ladies and gentlemen, I am your favorite Zionist prince, to all the traveling Clatt. We're giving you a situational update on what's going on between Israel and Iran. We're waking up to some pretty devastating news that a rocket had hit directly onto a residential building in the town of Bat Yam. This hits very, very close to home. There are people dead, there are people injured. This also includes people in Tel Aviv who have been killed and also Ramat Gan who have been killed in the past couple of days from the Iranian retaliation strikes on what we struck them. And we are very much only in the starting days of this war. We're going to start with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu here on Twitter.
Thank you on behalf of free peoples everywhere. Today, Israel is defending freedom in the Middle East and beyond. We're doing so against a tyrannical and radical Iranian regime that wants to build atomic bombs to destroy us and wants to build ballistic missiles, including intercontinental ballistic missile, to be able to threaten anyone and everywhere in the world. By defending ourselves, we're also defending others. We're defending our Arab neighbors, our Arab friends in peace. We're defending Europe. We're helping defend also.
Something to keep in mind, this is just something to interject while Bibi's talking. Yesterday, a whole family of Arab Israelis was murdered by one of the Islamic regime rockets that had landed in the Arab town of Tamra. I'll cover a little bit more later, but just so you know, for the people who is freeing Palestine, Palestinians are being killed. Also, a Palestinian home in the West Bank was completely lit ablaze, and I believe the inhabitants were killed by one of these rockets. So they're definitely doing a good job freeing Palestine from Palestinians.
The United States, which helps us all the time in our defense. This is an important mission. Right now, the Iranian regime is bombing our civilian neighborhoods while we are targeting the terrorists. Now, this is not new. They've tried to assassinate President Trump twice. They bombed American embassies. They killed 241 Marines in Beirut. They killed and injured thousands of Americans with their IEDs in Iraq and Afghanistan. They burn the American flag. They chant endlessly, "Death to America." Our enemy is your enemy. And by doing what we're doing, we're dealing with something that will threaten all of us sooner or later. Our victory will be your victory. How do we intend to achieve that victory? Well, we've already done great things. We've taken out their senior military leadership. We've taken out their senior technologists who are leading the race to build atomic weapons that would threaten us, but not only us. We've done all that and many other things, but we are also aware of the fact that there's more to be done. So we're preparing. We paved the way to Tehran, and our pilots over the skies of Tehran will deal blows to the Ayatollah regime that they cannot even imagine. And I can tell you this, we have indications that senior leaders in Iran are already packing their bags. They sense what's coming. I'll tell you what would have come if we hadn't acted. We had information that this unscrupulous regime was planning to give the nuclear weapons that they would develop to their terrorist proxies. That's nuclear terrorism on steroids. That would threaten the entire world. This is what Israel is doing with the support, the clear support of the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and the American people, and many others in the world. So with God's help, and with the goodwill and resolution of all free societies, we shall win.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's also been some other news, more interesting news actually, more speculative. We're probably not going to get any sort of confirmation on this, but the fact that the entire negotiations that's been going on between Trump, Iran, Israel, in the last month, specifically between the U.S. and Israel, U.S. and Iran, have just been leading Iran on, the Islamic regime of Iran on, in preparation for this operation. Again, it's speculated, and we're not going to get a clear answer on this probably ever, but that the U.S. led Iran on to believe that they were actually trying to negotiate while this operation was in the planning, in the works, and that Israel, or the U.S. completely supported Israel. Now, in retaliation to that, we know that that Iran has openly said that they will attack U.S. bases on the behest of Israel, because they're going to attack U.S. bases because they're going to draw Americans in for what they're going to draw responsibility for Americans for what Israel is doing. And that culminated last night with Iran trying to strike a U.S. embassy in Iraq. And it seems like nobody was there because the U.S. embassies have already evacuated everybody. But it looks like there was a drone attack on a U.S. embassy in Iraq, which pretty much now directly draws the United States of America into this fight. This is coming from a friend of mine on Instagram, Zena, who got caught outside in the first wave of rocket attacks. That's what it looked like in the center of Tel Aviv.
Oh my God.
Actually, when I lived in the suburb of Tel Aviv called Yafo, which is sort of the Arab city, I didn't have a bomb shelter in my apartment, and so every day when Hezbollah was firing rockets, this is what I had to do: is run to the nearest parking garage, about a minute away.
Wow. Shabbat Shalom.
So that was from the first day of the first round of attacks. This was on Shabbat. That's the Iron Dome operating near the Kiryat, which is a big intelligence base for Israel. It's kind of like Israel's Pentagon, and a rocket's going to hit pretty much right here in the center. Boom, right there. Now, all the idiots online write, why is Israel building military infrastructure inside of civilian cities? I saw Ian Carroll, this fucking idiot, on Twitter posting something like this. Do you understand? You see the rocket coming out, the interceptor coming out of the ground. It is an interceptor built to protect civilians because this is a residential area. There is no military compound here. The intelligence base doesn't house military equipment. It doesn't house military people. It houses intelligence. And it's built there for a reason. These interceptors are strategically put there to protect the civilians around them. And people are like, why is Israel building military infrastructure in civilian cities? They are protecting the civilians from these rockets. What I don't understand. I don't understand the connection. These people, the way that their brains work, truly fascinate me. This is the newest strike that happened early in the morning, around 2 a.m., I believe, local time in Bat Yam. This hits very, very close to home. Take a look at this clip. This is a residential area as well. Just completely hit a residential house. No military base. I know this city very well. It's literally just a residential area. Just hit an apartment building, and the after fact is that the Home Front Command estimates that around 35 people are missing beneath the rubble of a building in Bat Yam. Mass casualty event has been declared. Confirmed dead are a woman in her 60s, a woman in her 70s, and a boy around 13. So very, very, very sad news coming out of Israel today. And this is a look of what the building looked right after. Again, this is very, 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 very close to home. Residential building, unfortunately, mass casualty event. And like I said, very tragically, an Arab-Israeli family from the town of Tamra, northern Israel, there was a barrage of rockets and drones into northern Israel before central Israel tonight was unfortunately killed. All 5 family members were killed. This is what their house looked right after. Tamra has also been the victim of attacks from Hezbollah. Usually these Arab towns, a lot of times they don't prioritize building bomb shelters, and I've seen it myself. Many Arab Israelis just refuse to go to bomb shelters. They treat it as a joke. It's a societal problem in Arab Israeli society. It really is a cultural issue. I don't know if that's the case with these people. I'm not going to say that it is or wasn't, but if they were in their house, it's very, very unfortunate because their house was directly hit by a rocket. You can see here paramedics and the IDF on the ground trying to assist. But that is a terrible, terrible situation for this Arab family. Very, very sad. We've also got Naftali Bennett. As the former Prime Minister of Israel, I want to tell the Iranian people one thing. Your time is now. Free yourselves from your cruel dictators. Give your children a future of life and liberty. Israel has eliminated Iran's most senior military leaders. The regime has never been weaker, never. In Judaism, we say, if not now, when? Today, I urge every proud Iranian citizen to take their future into their own hands and know this. The people of Israel stand with you. The state of Israel stands with you. The entire free world stands with you. Do not miss this opportunity to achieve your freedom. Do not condemn your brave and noble people to decades of more tyranny and terrorism. Your time is now. So it looks like Israel has taken a full left side swing to try and actually overthrow the regime officially. This is Mohammed bin Salman, the leader of Saudi Arabia, on
Iran is not a rival to Saudi Arabia. Its army is not among the top 5 armies in the Muslim world. The Saudi economy is larger than the Iranian economy. Iran is far from being equal to Saudi Arabia.
But I've seen that you called the Ayatollah Khamenei the new Hitler of the Middle East.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because he wants to expand. He wants to create his own project in the Middle East, very much like Hitler, who wanted to expand at the time. Many countries around the world and in Europe did not realize how dangerous Hitler was until what happened. I don't want to see the same events happening in the Middle East.
Does Saudi Arabia need nuclear weapons to counter Iran?
Saudi Arabia does not want to acquire any nuclear bomb. But without a doubt, if Iran developed a nuclear bomb, we will follow suit as soon as possible.
You can see here clips of the Islamic regime attacking Israeli civilian homes. Immense clarity there from Mohammed bin Salman, and this is the reason why. Imagine if these were nuclear warheads, which they very much could be, considering the desires of the Islamic regime of Iran. This is what it's looking like for Israelis on the ground these nights. This is from the bombing in Bat Yam. That's what it looks like. The immense damage on the buildings. Just civilian cities, right? There's no military infrastructure even targeted at this point. They're just hitting civilians. They're not even trying to hit. But again, this has always been their call to action. The call to action was always, we're going to turn Tel Aviv into rubble. It's never been about military infrastructure. It's only been about murdering Jewish people, because the Islamic regime of Iran is extremely anti-Semitic and very much interested in destroying the state of Israel and destroying the homeland for the Jewish people. We'll look at some more clips here that I have downloaded for us. A little side by side, you can see what's been targeted when it comes to very clear clarity here on what's been targeted on the behest of the IDF, what's been targeted by Iran: homes, schools, civilians, residential houses that have been blown up. There was a complex of houses in Rishon LeZion in a residential neighborhood that was completely blown up. 3 people were believed to be killed, I believe, and many others injured. And then here you can see us attacking nuclear sites, military commanders, specific apartments of military personnel and commanders of the IRGC. Reza Pahlavi, the Crown Prince of Iran, probably butchered the pronunciation of his name, I don't know why I'm not following him, but has taken action as well to try to undermine the regime by making his own message to the people of Iran, to his own people. Let's take a look as well.
همیهنانم جمهوری اسلامی و رهبران نالایق و جنایتکارش ایران ما را به جنگ کشاندند و مسئول و مقصر اصلی وضعیت کنونی هستند. این رژیم پس از دهه‌ها فساد و بیکفایتی و زورگویی در شکننده ترین و ضعیفترین وضعیت خود قرار گرفته است. اما شکستن نهایی آن تنها به دست پرقدرت ملت بزرگ ایران ممکن است. ایران متعلق به شماست و بازپسگیریش نیز در دستان شماست. هر نافرمانی شما، از جمله نرفتن به محل کار، کمکاری یا دیرکاری، میتواند ضربه مؤثر بر پیکر فرسوده این رژیم باشد. ما با هم و در کنار هم پیروز خواهیم شد. به نیروهای نظامی، انتظامی و امنیتی میگویم از این رژیم جدا شوید و به مردم بپیوندید. از جانب شما مردم به جامعه جهانی میگویم به جای مماشات با رژیم اسلامی از مردم ایران حمایت کنید. پاینده ایران، زنده باد ملت ایران.
We're looking at a real attempt right now to overthrow the regime, or at least to inspire the citizens of Iran to fight against this Islamic regime. And we need Reza. We need him to be at the forefront of this. We need Iranian citizens, or Iranians and Persians from the diaspora to be chiming in to undermine the regime, to continue to inspire, because if IDF lays down the groundwork, if Israel, the US, Western nations help lay down the groundwork and weaken the regime, we may be able to help to assist the Iranian people on the ground to actually overthrow the regime. And it really looks like we're heading that way. They are targeting, just like I said, they're only targeting civilians. They have no knowledge on military infrastructure. They can't even hit military infrastructure if they wanted to. They're incapable of doing it. So their only options to hit civilians, and their backs are against the wall. The second you start targeting civilians exclusively and you can't actually do anything against anybody's military, you can see you're not going to accomplish anything. You're not going to win this fight. There's so much more to cover, but I got to jet off and catch a bus across the country I'm currently in. For security purposes, I'm going to be hiding my location again moving forward. We have gotten, just so you guys understand, a situational understanding of what's going on to Israelis and Jews abroad. Considering the way that the Islamic regime of Iran works, they will try to attack random Israelis and Jews around the world, especially as they get more desperate. Israeli embassies last night around the world shut down, and services for Israelis around the world has been shut down. Israel is urging all their citizens to keep a very, very low profile, like myself, and to hide actually where they are in real time. So I know I gave away my location a couple days ago for the first time because I thought I was actually going back home, but I got stuck. I'm no longer where I was, and by the time you see this video, I'm going to be in a completely different country, completely different part of the world. But I'm kind of going into a little bit of a refugee mode in the next couple of days. So you can keep tabs on me. I'll try to update as much as I can, but I'm literally going to stuff my laptop into my backpack, and I got to catch a bus to a boat to a train. I'm going far, and I'm going to try to get as close as I physically can to Israel before hopefully repatriation flights open up. There's talks about hubs in the Mediterranean that Israelis can flock to. But again, the Israeli government is sort of urging people to not run to those locations yet. So I'm sort of taking my time to get there to then hopefully repatriate Israelis, because it seems like it's going to get very, very, very intense in the coming weeks. We're just at the beginning of this operation. Let's hope that we can bring down the Islamic regime all together for once and for all. And wish me luck on the journey. I will keep you guys as updated as I can as I go. Today I probably won't have another video out for you guys, unless it's an emergency update. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Tal the Vagabond, checking out. Love you guys a long time. Thank you for all the support, by the way. I appreciate everybody's very, very kind messages from all over the world. I'm fine. I'm doing okay. I'm in high spirits. I'm in contact consistently with my family and friends back in Israel. We're doing good. We are going to come out victorious. Do not capitulate to fear. Do not fear them. We are on top. We are strong. We will win. See you guys in the next one. Love you a long time. Goodbye, Clatts.
If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclatt.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.